I'm Carsten Horn, CEO of Reho Travel. Right now I'm on Sark. I actually grew up on this island, and it's an island that is run on the feudal system. Sark has no cars, no street lights. As a kid, I'd ride down to the farm on my bicycle, I'd pick up the milk, we'd make our own cream, we'd make our own butter. The terms greenhouse gases and global warming was simply not in our vocabulary. I'm pleased to say that not a lot has changed here nearly 50 years later. Possibly growing up here had an impact on how I see the world and how eventually I ended up running my travel business. Reho Travel started 42 years ago, and we're still the only B Corp certified travel management company in the world. We have a team of 30 based in our head office in Melbourne, Sydney and also in Fiji. Our study tours division manages and develops programs for most of the major universities in Melbourne. We work with our clients to manage all elements of their travel in an efficient, cost-effective and ethical manner. We recognise that travel can often be a balance of need versus impact. Given Australians need to get on a plane to travel overseas, we understand that our role is to help them to reduce their impact. Our purpose-driven journey started in Malawi on New Year's Day in January 2008. We were travelling overland from Kenya to South Africa, and we stopped in this small town called Nkata Bay. And on the side of the road we met this young man whose job in life was to sell postcards on the side of the road. We got chatting about his life, and he explained to me that each time he sold one of his cards he'd earn $1. But the problem is Malawi is not one of the major tourist destinations, so the trucks would only come through once or twice a week, so he'd only earn maybe $3 or $4 on those days. He kept calling me an old man. I said, "Why are you calling me an old man?" I was in my early 40s at the time, and he said, "Because the average life expectancy in Malawi is 44. He was a great artist because he hand drew the postcards. I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we could get Alec to make Christmas cards for us? And we worked out that if he made 200 Christmas cards for us, it would be the equivalent of what he'd sell in a year. So he could pre-draw all the Christmas cards, and then he could go back to school instead of being on the side of the road. For many years, Alec created the Reho Christmas cards. Over time, he graduated, went to university, became a teacher, and we came up with the idea of how about creating a microfinance bank in the village. So Reho and Reho's clients funded the microfinance bank for several years. So for about 5 years, we created microfinance loans for hundreds of the residents of the area, and we restored hope in their lives. Quite often it would be a loan of $10, $20 or even $100, and every single one of them in that 5-year period paid that back. Eventually, because of the interest rate, it became very difficult to keep the microfinance going, so we partnered with a charity in Sydney and turned it into a community bank, which has now been running for over 5 years now, and it's self-sufficient, and we no longer need to provide any more funding, and it's now run by the locals successfully, and it's really helped the community. In the early days, it was about reducing printing, efficient lighting, no coffee cups, no brochures, and we even asked every airline and hotel rep to research their sustainability protocols. Now it influences every decision we make. We see it as our role to educate our clients and the industry as to how they can make a more positive impact. This is through talks, articles, face-to-face meetings. During COVID, I was involved in many panel discussions. During lockdown, we sponsored a student at a Dutch university, and he did a thesis on sustainable business travel. And I'm asked about our target market, and I say it's purpose-driven businesses. Businesses that want to be purpose-driven, that we can assist, or those that we can educate. Years ago, we engaged with Pangolin Associates to measure and implement greenhouse gas protocols and scopes, and as a result became carbon neutral. Strategically offsetting with projects in Timor-Leste, Uganda and Tasmania. Our clients have been with us on the sustainability journey from the beginning. With our corporate clients, we push the message through the quarterly reviews, study tours. We have carbon neutral study tours. And on the leisure side, we encourage our clients to look at companies like Intrepid, Chimu and G Adventures. With our corporate clients, we're always talking about sustainability during their quarterly reviews. We offset their carbon emissions. We offer green hotels on their online booking tools. A week before COVID, we completed our sustainability document, which we've been presenting to our clients over the last 3 years. Many have gone on to use it as a blueprint for their business. The town of Nakata Bay in Malawi now has a self-sustainable community bank that helps the entire community move out of poverty. Reho Study Tours developed an app that removed the need to print 5,000 itinerary pages each year, as well as produce ticket wallets. We have an engaging sustainability document which we can use to educate both our clients and the industry. I believe that Reho Travel has maintained a strong commitment to our values despite the massive impact COVID made to our business, and that we represent everything that AFTRA is looking for in an NTIA finalist. During COVID, our business was running at 10%, so it gave me an opportunity to look at ways to push a positive message out to the industry and also to focus more on sustainability. What started as an April Fool's joke, we changed the company's name to Rehome, just like you, we're not going anywhere, turned into a series of short films. And during that time, it gave me an opportunity to learn how to edit. Here's one of them I wrote, which is a short film titled Travel Through Anticipation, which has a strong focus on sustainability.
When we travel to learn rather than turn up to teach, our minds start wondering what lies beyond the beach. When the bans are lifted and the planet's changed, our place at nature's table rearranged, we must allow the planet to heal and for society to rebuild. And in the meantime, we can travel through anticipation. Amongst diversity and culture, who knows what we'll find if we leave ourselves at home, explore with an open mind. Something could change, we feel a need to protect a biodiversity we've chosen to neglect. We must allow the planet to heal and for society to rebuild. And in the meantime, we can travel through anticipation. We'll travel in the small numbers, a few at a time, reaching places where our impact could shift the paradigm. The new normal will focus on what's green, but in reality, it's how the world should always have been. We must allow the planet to heal and for society to rebuild. And in the meantime, we can travel through anticipation. We must allow the planet to heal and for society to rebuild. And in the meantime, we can travel through anticipation.
Reho Travel is committed to influencing the entire travel industry to consider the whole supply chain. We'd like to see an industry where customers are choosing an airline for its low fuel consumption, a hotel in the developing world for its labour practices, and a tour company that involves the local community. Booking through a travel agency that has the experience and the awareness to book through suppliers that have a positive impact on this world.